Welcome to Hamilton County TV. I'm Perry Williams, and today's Coach's Corner is Justin Keever, the head baseball coach of the Noblesville Millers. Welcome, Justin.
Good to be here, Perry.
Now, I'm kind of confused because we had the pandemic and everything. Is this your 19th season or 20th season? What is this?
It's my 19th season, but 20th year.
Yeah. I kind of thought that's what it was, but that's always... let's talk a little bit about Noblesville and a little bit about the history and because you've been here for several years, and the one thing about it is that Noblesville's not had very many baseball coaches. So you and I worked on that last year, and Dunker and Ron Fleming and Denny Cass. So we've not had many baseball, but there's been some big changes, here, even at the Dunk, these last few years. Talk a little bit about that, some of the new things that you got, even going back with the turf and everything.
Yeah, so right before the pandemic, we were able to get a second diamond, which we needed for a long time, and fortunately we made it turf, and it's been such a useful, it's the exact same dimensions as the Dunk. We kept the Dunk grass, beautiful. Josh Weigel, our field coordinator, does a great job, and the groundskeeper does a great job keeping it beautiful. And but the turf field over here has been great. It helps practice. Both teams at the same place, which is awesome. Before, we've had to have half our team here, and then the other team maybe at one of the middle schools or in the pond over there at the high school, that little swell there, just to get practice in. But that was a big one. That was about in 2019, start of the 2020 season there, but that got canceled. But that's a big one. And then most recently is our new clubhouse that we're sitting in right now. It's great office space for our coaches, great area for our players, with the lockers. It's decked out with all the things we need to be successful with our technology, and it's right here at the Dunk, and we just walk right out to our dugout, and it's been such a great asset for our program, and we're real excited.
The one thing I've thought, like last year when you finally got into here, was one of the advantages, because broadcasting games, I get here early and everything, and in the past, someone, one of the managers or you or one of the coaches forgot something, and it's back at the school, so you had to have them run back to school. That's kind of a great thing. And another thing on the turf that I wanted to say is, isn't it? I'm sure it's a big advantage, because now we're going to places where you're going to play on turf. And then there's fields that you're going to play on grass. So now you have both of them that you can work with, and of course weather-wise, it's wonderful. You wouldn't be, a lot of the practices early, you wouldn't be outside if you didn't have the turf.
Well, that's true. We're able to get outside earlier, get a nice day, don't have to worry about the ground being thawed. We can play at the pace that the game's going to be played at too. So we don't, like early on in the year, the grass typically, not this year, we've been really fortunate with the weather, but typically that grass, the ground's really soft, and so it doesn't roll the same and have the same speed, but the turf certainly keeps that up. When the Dunk gets firmed up, which it is right now, she plays fast and she plays awesome. But one of the things as we start out the year, was I think 6 of our first 9 games are on synthetic turf, and so we're able to get used to those types of bounces, because they're different. There's definitely different bounces off of that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit. We're getting ready to start the season here, and one of the things, and I think, were you the first one that started going south to play games during the spring break here in the county, or? I
think we were.
Yeah.
Here in the county for sure. I think there's some other programs that were doing it, but here in the county, for sure. Yeah.
Now, how long have you been going south for this spring break here for 3 or 4 days and playing 4 games and things like that? it's quite a team. And talk a little bit about the team building experience that you grow from down there.
Well, in 2007, we went down for the first time, played somebody out of state, which was Cincinnati Moeller, and started to get a relationship there with Tim Held down there at Moeller. And actually, it was the legendary coach, Coach Keever Jr. And my name is escaping, I can't believe it. But anyway, he was the coach down we got coordinated with, and so he ended up retiring, and then Tim Held took over, but we started doing that. But that was just a day trip. We came back, and then the next year we went down to PRP down in Pleasure Ridge Park down there in Louisville, and played a little tournament down there and stayed the night. Took a school bus, did that thing, and then came back the next day. And that was an 8. And so then in 2009 we said, hey, let's go down to Tennessee, and struck up a relationship with the then Bearden coach, but now the Farragut coach, who's in his last year, Coach Buckner, and he was able to get us some games. And from then on, we were able to go down. We were going down to Knoxville from Thursday to Saturday, and then one year we stopped down and played St. X on the way down, and then went down. That got to be a little expensive. It was a few too many days, but as the travel costs and lodging costs are increasing, we made it a priority to be able to pay for that trip through our fundraising and stuff like that. But it's been such a invaluable experience because, yeah, we're forced to be together. All we do is we're about baseball. Parents are great, providing the meals. We're eating together, and we're playing some good baseball. And you can find out a lot about your team before conference play starts that second week.
You know, one of the things too is when you play the teams down there, you played probably one game and they played 10 or 12.
Sometimes 15 or 20.
Yeah. And you talk about Farragut. If anyone that knows anything about high school baseball, you can pull it up on the website, and right. Farragut's one of the top teams in the nation every year, right. Year after year.
Right. Yeah, and we've been going from Knoxville, then we started going to Murfreesboro a little bit because the calendar in Indiana and Tennessee and the way they were doing their tournaments. Barry Messer does a great job with the Spring Warrior Classic, and they've been kind of on opposite weeks, and so we would go to Knoxville for a while, and then at Murfreesboro, we'd be going to Murfreesboro in a row in consecutive years because of how the tournament was, in terms of where it was and when it was. But so it's been good. We're going back there again this year, and playing some good teams again, and staying in the same hotel. We're starting to get a relationship with all the people in the hotel. Same people are still working there, and they're good. They're glad to have us.
Yeah, and I think this is probably the first year I went was the great year 2014 when we won a state championship. But you and I talked before we got on the air, and we had a good team, great group of kids, great group of parents, but there was I don't even think there was any conversation at all about winning a state championship when we were down there. Okay, right. It was just having a good time and building that team chemistry.
Well, I think you go through any season, like if it's nice to have a goal and then just put it there, but really, I mean, it's like James Allen says, is like you attract not what you want, but you attract what you are. And we want a state championship, but really what you're going to do every day just to get better. And really that's what that trip does. It kind of reveals some things we got to get better at, and great competition with teams that are well seasoned and playing the game at the speed that we're going to need to play at. Sometimes we've noticed, like, man, we got to catch up in terms of how we're too slow in terms of processing things, where the other team is a little quicker. And this is because of the flight hours playing some games. But anytime you want to win everybody wants to win a state championship.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's not a unique goal, but at the end of the day, we got to be as good as we can be, and then at the end of the year, we'll see where we're at and let the chips fall where they may.
Coach, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about this coaching staff, because many of these coaches have either played for you or have been with you for a long time or have a tremendous history in coaching before they came to you. So kind of talk about the Miller coaching
staff. Sure.
Staff.
I mean, I'm unbiased, but really think we have the best coaching staff a program could ask for. I mean, the amount of time that they put in, I mean, they are about the group, very unselfish, and just want their players to be as good as they can be, and they love being Millers. And that's, first of all, that's what makes them special. And then beyond being that they're really good coaches. They know their stuff, and try to let them be in charge of their area and just be held accountable to their area, and they do an amazing job. Kevin Fitzgerald has been with me for now 18 years. My goodness, obviously we're really, really good friends too, and he's made me better, very intelligent, incredible.
He knows the game, man.
And he's an incredible communicator, and a lot of life experiences that the kids really gravitate to. He does a great job with our outfielders and our hitters. Incredible third base coach. I mean, he's as good as it gets. And then we have Scott Henson, who's I believe this is his third or fourth year, and Scott's got a long baseball resume and had some really successful years as the head coach at HSE, and coached in college for 1 or 2 years as the catching coach. He's our catcher's coach and varsity assistant, and does a great job. Knows the game, loves the kids, and he's a teacher in our building now too, in the social studies department, and just understands how everything works. And then you got Bryce Worrell, who's got again a lot of baseball experience. He played at Anderson, and he is an assistant coach at Manchester for several years, Manchester College, and I think he was an assistant over here at that school to the south, and for a year, and definitely knows the game, works with our infielders. He's a grinder. He works his tail off, and never takes a day off. We got in our JV coaches, we have Riley Benner. I believe this is Riley's fourth or fifth year. I always lose track, but he, again, that guy works his tail off and really loves baseball, like loves it, and he can eat, sleep, and drink it, and he's always trying to get better, and does a really good job with our JV. Practice plans are great, and then just the way he goes about his business. And his assistant is Axel Doran. Axel's, I believe, his second year with us, and he's a former pitcher at UND, and I believe he coached a year or two over at Guerin as an assistant, and he's done a great job too. Helps with our pitchers. And then the freshman level, Jeff Neininger, I think this is his 9th year with us, and Jeff's awesome. I mean, Jeff is an incredible communicator, builds relationships with the players, holds them accountable, brings the same juice and energy every day, and is authentic and as genuine as it gets. And he coaches our JV Gold team. And then we have 2 volunteer assistants. Ben Yoder played for me, graduated in 2012, former pitcher, played at Anderson. He's been the coach a long time. This is probably his 9th year maybe of doing it, because him and Quentin Miller, came in the same year. Who's the other volunteer assistant. They both help out with our pitching, and Quentin Miller played with the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, and has helped us a lot of knowledge and experiences that the players really appreciate, and I appreciate. And Ben, it's the same thing. He's been a JV coach, been the head JV coach for a long time. He really understands. He's played in this program. He's coached in this program. He's so invaluable because he's able to communicate to the players and even the new coaches like what it means to be a part of this program, and from all different perspectives. And again, these guys just love being Millers. They love middle ball, and that's what makes it awesome. That makes it special, and we're all good friends, and we give each other a hard time, but we also work really hard. Mitch Metter is our strength and conditioning coordinator. Does a great job with our players in the off season. I mean, they're all in class, and then also we have a lift every week where it was just us baseball players, and does a great job and builds a relationship with the guys. I mean, they all really do that, build those relationships. And the last, but certainly not least, is Gerald Milkler. He's our trainer, and our guys get treatment with him every day. Whether it's going to be dry needling, whether it's cupping, whether it's just getting some stem, whatever the case may be, he's taking care of them, keeping them a lot of prehab, and keeping him ship shape for the season.
Yeah, because that's one thing about it with he spends a lot of time here working with the athletes and always willing to help out in any way he can. It's all about that Miller way and knowing how to be a Miller. And you know, one of the things you just mentioned was two things with all your coaches was a good communicator and a person that can relate with the young people, and that's very important.
I think what I think is really important is to communicate exactly, say what you mean what you say, and be yourself. And that's what these guys all do. Is that they're themselves. They're not trying to be anybody else but that. And I think the kids really appreciate them being genuine in that manner. And that's all we're trying to do. We're all trying to get better. We chase winning because it's the only thing everybody cares about. But we use that to improve everything, right? And so improve all aspects of our lives, whether it's being a good teammate and having good character and being disciplined and all those things. And so how you do anything is how you do everything. Well, if we're going to hold each other accountable to winning, which it brings everybody together, then that means we have to take ourselves out of it and do what's best for the group. And that's hard, but so's winning.
Yeah, and it teaches them a lot of life lessons.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of the things that you teach here goes far beyond the game of baseball. You're teaching the game of life, and these guys work very hard at it. I feel very blessed to be as close to this team as I have been in the last 13 years that I've been back. So 14 years I've been back. So, but I've learned a lot, and this team is always, that core values are always the same through the whole 14, 15 years, and I'm sure it's the same thing that you've taught your entire coaching career.
And that's the goal. I mean, there's a difference between teaching and learning, and I think what's great is that the kids take ownership of it. It's not just a buy-in, being a we call it compliant and just doing what you're told because that's what you were told to do, but they take ownership of it. And that's where they get that commitment and being compelling and bringing some people with them in those relationships. And if you're going to be committed and compelled, you're going to have to invest in other people. And the best joys in life is when we invest in other people. And that requires us to, again, be selfless. But that's where that true joy comes from.
You're correct. Well, let's talk about the 24 Millers, and you always start the conversation off with your seniors. I mean, they are the leaders. They've been with you for a while. So let's talk a little bit about the Millers and kind of what you expect this season.
Yeah, we got an experience. We got some experience coming back. We got some new young talent coming in. I mean, Nolan Decker has been a 4-year starter for us. Same with on the mound. Same with Lucas Steffen, and they're going to bring a lot of that experience. They've seen when we've struggled. They've seen when we've been really good, and so they've got some firsthand knowledges on some things that have held us back, and also the things that propelled us forward. And they can do that from their own experiences as a player. But Nolan's going to be one of our top pitchers there on the mound and play right field for us like he did.
Yeah, he's a pretty good outfielder too.
Yeah, really good outfielder. And then Lucas Steffen again will give us a lot. I mean, he had 43 strikeouts and 9 walks last year and a lot of innings. And he'll do the same. What that role looks like, we don't know yet, but we know that he's going to pitch a lot for us. And he's a very versatile team guy, fierce competitor, and. You got Blake Widgett's back, and Blake will be playing, kind of go around the outfield, will be one of probably our starting center fielder. He's improved a ton, really works hard, practices hard. He came on late last year, just kept practicing, kept getting hard, working hard, and has done a nice job. And then Josh Peak is also back next year. Great, just a great human being, great teammate, and very steady outfielder. Improved at the plate from last year. You can tell that in early going. And he's going to provide some depth on the mound too. Josh throws a lot of strikes, and he's done a nice job here in the early going. Brady Bishop is going to start the year out shortstop this year. He played a lot. He played second when Bryce pitched last year, and Bryce Riggs pitched last year. But he's going to move over and play short this year. He's had a really good fall. Had a really good preseason camp too. I mean, he's got the ability to make the great play. His thing is just going to be continue to make the routine play. He's got all the tools to be a flat gold glover over there. Behind the plate, we have Sean McMahon and Sam Deno, and those guys have been battling for that top spot, and they do. What I really appreciate about them, first of all, they're really smart kids. They're really genuine people, and they just try to make each other better. They're really trying to push each other. They encourage each other. They know they're trying to get those same innings, but at the end of the day, they're trying to make each other better, and that's a little iron sharpens iron. They've improved a bunch under the tutelage of Coach Henson, and it's been fun to watch. They're getting better. They can play at a level where we can win some baseball games with them behind the plate, and they got some tools to hold down a running game, and so this continue to get better, and we'll find out how it all shakes out. They're both going to play, but at the end of the day, one of them will probably put themselves ahead of the other eventually, but that remains to be seen just yet. Quentin Black's back on the mound for us. Quentin's had a really good early season. He's pitched really well in the early scrimmages. Pitched well in the scrimmage against Westfield. He's going to pitch for us out of the bullpen mostly. He's got some good stuff, and really a fierce competitor as well. In my list of people here, let me see that real quick. We got Jacob Baker. Jacob Baker is going to be quarterback for the football team. Really good experience there. Did a really nice job with the football team. He's going to be one of our first basemen. Him and McCoy Folk have been battling for the time there. Jacob started off a little slow, but has really come on lately. Played really good ball these past 2 weeks, and he's again a competitor. Loves baseball. Been putting some good at bats together. Pretty savvy over there at first base as well. I'm trying to think here. And then it's returning starters that we have. We have Aiden Reynolds over at third base. He'll start the year at third base. He finished the year at short. Last year we moved him back to third at Brady's going to shortstop. Again, he's a special talent. He's gotten a lot stronger, a lot bigger. He's going to be a good player for us over at third base and top field with a bat as a sophomore. Trevor Corbett again returns. Again, this is his third year starting. I mean, he's been hitting since he's got here. And
he's a hitter.
Yeah, we're going to move him to second base this year, and he's going to pitch for us too. And Aiden's going to pitch a little bit for us as well. But Trevor's done a nice job on the mound early on as well, and he's got some good stuff. But Trevor's going to hit top of the order again, and just a flat ball player. He brings the juice to the ballpark every day. Great guy to be around. Aiden Ramsey returns in the outfield. We played him center last year. We're going to move him over to left. Again, he continues to get bigger, stronger, and faster, and really loves the ball. Works one of the hardest workers we have on the team, and he's going to continue. He's made a big improvement in the outfield defensively. That we just saw that right away in the fall. I mean, just the way he was commanding his area out there, and continuing to get better at the plate. He's got all the talent in the world, and we're excited to see his growth and an improvement. Joe Glander is going to be kind of a newcomer. He missed last year with an injury, and he's back this year. He's going to be one of our guys on the mound for sure. Good stuff, and he's going to play some outfield for us as well. A really good athlete. He's going to runs really well, big arm, works his tail off, very meticulous in his preparation. Anxious to see him compete and get going. He did a nice job in the scrimmage on Wednesday. Hasn't had real competition, played against other people for about a year or so. So it was nice to see. McCoy Folk as the guys going to be moving. I mentioned earlier with Jacob Baker first, left-hand hitter, right-hand thrower. This has all the actions. He can play probably anywhere in the infield, quite honestly, and very savvy, competitor, grinds out at bats, and we're excited to see his growth this year as well. He got injured this summer, and so his off season was slowed in terms of his development, but he's starting to come on real well lately, and it's gonna be fun. He's gonna have to play a big part of what we're doing. Nash Watson is going to be, as a junior, he's going to provide some depth in their infield. And Nash does, first of all, has the best radio voice there is. But he's a really good teammate, very fast. He's going to run for us a lot. And he's developing as an infielder, hits left-handed, right-handed thrower as well. Definitely has some glimpses of some pop, and I'm anxious to see his development too. But primarily, early on, he's going to be a courtesy runner for us and pinch runner for us. Has some savvy, has some very smart, and he's going to provide a good role for us. We also have Beckett Dome. Beckett is a left-handed pitcher. Really loves to compete. Last year he dominated at the JV level, and then proceeded, after having a really good summer, of committing to gaining weight and getting stronger, put on 30 pounds. His time in the weight room and diet, and this strict diet to get himself there, and has good stuff, and he's going to pitch a lot for us as well. And anxious to see his development and his contribution to the team, because he's one of the guys we're definitely counting on. The other one's a freshman, Eli Hall. Eli Hall is going to be a good player for us. Really came on late with on the mound, commands the strike zone. He's gonna also is an infielder, but right now what he does on the mound is ahead of what he does defensively at the plate. But he definitely is going to be a good all-around player in our future. But he's definitely going to be a guy for us. Tanner Miller will be in left field for us. One of our outfielders. We got to find a way to get him on the field. Tanner has a savage at bats. He's a smart player. He's really improved in the outfield. Pretty athletic, but his at bats are professional, and he loves to hit. He does things the right way, and that's one of the things that we like about him, is the way he approaches every at bat. And he's a tough out, and we got to find a way to get him on the field. I believe I hit everybody. If I forgot somebody, maybe forget, you know.
You know, the one thing about it is that, you know, I wanted to go through, and I know I put you on the spot a little bit there, because it's hard to remember everyone's name in your head right now, and sitting here doing the interview. But it's going to be an interesting season, and we've talked a bit about it, and it's no different in baseball than it is in any other sport that we play in the Hoosier Crossroad Conference. It's going to be a dogfight. I mean, the conference and the sectional and you being familiar with all the teams, all the coaches, because you have quite a coaching fraternity in the Hoosier Crossroad Conference, and also with Carmel, that it's going to be a fun season, and anything can happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, we got to worry about us, and that we got to be as good as we can be. We know that the other teams are good, which makes it fun around here. I mean, you could have, we can complain or whatever that the tournament is what it is, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's the mission, and we have, and it also makes our state tournament really fun. It makes our conference really fun. Like, you're going against really good teams, really good coaches, really good programs every week, and our kids get pushed, and they got to play well to win. And it's so hard to win, and when you do it, it's gratifying, because we know that we've earned that win that week. And so or those 2 wins, or whatever the series ends up being. And I think that iron sharpens iron type of deal, where it makes each team better, on and off the field.
Yeah, and we got to remember, and you've always stressed this, I mean, we got to be the best we can be, okay? I mean, yeah, we can play a series with Carmel and maybe look good one game and not good the next. Same way with any of the teams in the conference, but we have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
do the best we can.
It's the only thing we can control, right?
Yeah.
That's what baseball is an interesting sport too. It's like, it's not hand-to-hand combat. That's like,
Yeah.
whoever can play the ball the best.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time out. I know you got practice coming up here, and the season starting on Monday, going to St. Xavier. So best of luck for this season, and thanks a lot for taking time out of your schedule.
Thanks, Perry.